Hey everybody, it's Seriously Sydney, also known as Sid the Illustrator, and today is part 2 of learning to paint with oils. I could have picked a better title. How about painting with oils? Or, yeah, learning to oil paint works too if I actually read the thing instead of made up my own title here. Anyway, so I'm using a glass palette that I kind of made. Just some random canvas board. I don't actually know the brand name or any of that. What else do we have here? We have, so these colors are from, I keep saying okay. So these colors from left to right are, let's see here, titanium white, then we have cad yellow medium, cad red medium, phthalo blue, and Van Dyke brown. Yep, Van Dyke brown, and then various mixtures of those colors are on the palette. And right here I set up this thing so that the canvas board isn't sitting right on the edge of the canvas, of the easel, so that I can paint the bottom edge of the canvas. And for like a thinning thing, I was going to use liquid, but then I changed my mind because I was painting in my room and it was late and I had to go to bed at some point. So, and it's hot outside, so with all those things put together, I decided to go with linseed oil instead of liquid, because liquid has a lot of fumes to it and linseed oil not as much. And that is the medium I've been using so far with this piece. Something I noticed is the linseed oil, it's very nice the way it thins the oil out. Like, I don't know, I paint with watercolor most of the time, so just the texture it gives the paint is really nice. I liked that. And what else? So yeah, that's some linseed oil. Right there. It might be sunflower. Yeah, it's linseed oil. And it just blends the paints, it makes it all creamy, and it also makes it very thin and transparent. So it would make it easy to layer a lot. And I'm just using some random golden Taklon brush, a filbert, and just kind of going in. I don't even think the size is printed on it anymore. That's kind of rubbed off from who knows what time. So the idea for this is to have a darker greenish, brownish, like a deep foresty background. And because I'm painting some flowers in the background as well, so you can see there's two big flowers behind the guy, I was trying to do like maybe spots of colors in the background that are in the flowers, so that it kind of brings cohesion to the piece. Hopefully that makes sense. Also, something interesting is, because of course oil paints don't dry as quickly as watercolors, like they will blend as you move them together, and it's just something to keep in mind for me. So that was a fascinating realization, I guess you could say. Because anytime I've messed with oil paint before, other than this one portrait that I tried to do that did not look like me at all, it was a self-portrait. But I always kind of let it dry in between with that portrait, so I never really did layers and tried to work on the background and the main subject and the foreground all at once. Or in that case it would have been the background, the shirt, and the face. I didn't try to do that then. So that's something new. And this is a limited color palette, as you can probably figure out by the fact that there are only, 5 colors? And that was an interesting thing. I ended up picking up some, did I pick cad yellow light, or cad yellow light for the frog, because as I continue on I'm going to need some sort of blue toned yellow, and cad yellow medium was too orange toned, so it kind of didn't give me a very vibrant frog. I want the frog to really stand out from the background. Ooh, here's where I start kind of giving the flowers a base color. So the goal with this layer is just to get all the colors blocked in like kind of a mid-tone idea, so not the darkest darks or the lightest lights, just kind of a mid-tone base layer to work off of. So throughout this whole piece pretty much I'm using the same brush, and I'm just, if I find I have to really change a color, I kind of wipe it off on my paper. Was I using a normal towel? Yeah, I wasn't using a paper towel. I wiped it off on that and continued on. I really liked the way the yellow, it would be cad yellow medium and titanium white mixed with the linseed oil. I really liked it. It just was so creamy and flowy. It was a lot of fun, that part. Something I hadn't considered though was, even though oil paint takes a long time to dry, so I let the piece dry, the paint on the palette also dries. I hadn't thought of that at all. I didn't consider that, so after I finished this piece, or this part of this piece, I was like, oh, the paint on the palette's gonna dry, that's nice. I also didn't know how to tell if the oil paint was dry. Like, because I know the surface of it dries before the under part, so that was interesting to figure out. And what I ended up doing is using the dry paint on the palette to test it. So when the paint was dry on the palette, I gave it another day and then I worked on the second layer to this painting. So far, I'm liking this color palette, other than like the addition of a blue-toned yellow. I think this palette's pretty nice. I might end up getting a blue-toned red as well at some point, but for right now, I like the way it's turning out. I like the versatility of it. I like the color mixtures. Keeps the whole thing quite unified. Here I'm using a very small brush for some little details I wanted to try doing. And you guys have nearly made it to the end of the video. If you guys stuck around for this long, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and comment down in the comments section cadmium yellow as the special word to let me know you guys watched this far. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week, Wednesday. Until then, have an artastic week.